manager for your project.
Hey, everybody, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Z Garcia. Hello, folks.
We are.
Hey, I'm Mike Delisio.
Sorry, Mike.
It's all right. Hey, it's all right. I understand.
There. I got all excited suddenly.
It's all right.
Mike
oh my goodness.
All righty, folks. Well, welcome to CrowdSurfing with our most dearly beloved friend, Mike Delisio. We are looking at Kickstarter projects, and there are a lot of them. Actually, I was surprised by that. They had dropped down, and I wondered if that would be a continuing trend. But now I'm getting wind from different publishers that some of them are starting to put things on Kickstarter that they weren't previously planning to do so. I don't think that's today, but I think that's going to happen with some companies.
Yeah, this is a big show. There's some pretty high-profile titles. Maybe not Frosthaven, but some big ones.
I think we could stop that caveat for the rest of the year. Well, it's not as big as Frosthaven.
That's true.
So a couple things to keep in mind, folks. We're going to be going through 26 different projects today. We will be looking only at projects that are ending in about the next 14 days, because in 14 days we do another one of these shows. So we'll talk about games that end after that at that point. They're in no particular order. And at the end of the episode, we'll tell you our picks of the week. So you'll have to stay tuned till then. All right. Everyone ready? Let's start with
Ready to go.
Small project. Here we go. All right, so first of all, we have Hel, the Last Saga. This is from Mythic Games. This one's doing okay for having just gone up yesterday, 500,000 already. As a caveat, realize that we did a paid playthrough of this that went up yesterday. We would have liked to play it in person, but because of details, we played it on Tabletop Simulator. So as of that, when I went to this page and looked at these miniatures, that even though I played the game, this was the first time I had seen many of these miniatures.
Right, too.
This is a Viking-esque game. It calls it, it's a cooperative fantasy Viking board game with, I'm assuming there's more stuff behind the scenes. Does this meet your category, Z, of grimdark?
Yeah, I think this is pretty grim. It's steeped in the mythology and folklore of Viking nations. So I would say it's definitely a Viking game, but it's also got that, creepy shadows moving through the forest, but they're imbued with life, kind of grimdark vibe. Yeah.
Now,
it's not a Champions of Midgard or Raiders of the North Sea Viking. It's a much more dark, realistic kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, realistic.
Yeah, I don't know about realistic, but
well, you know what I mean. That's true.
I think the art style in this game also feels like actual historical paintings to a degree. Like there's that sense of it feeling creepy and actually ancient. It's
right.
It's very good artwork. It's also very creepy and appropriate artwork to what the theme is.
Now, one thing that's interesting about this particular project is its base pledge is pretty high, $129. Yeah. This is one of the higher ends of a pledge. Now, don't get me wrong. It looks like you're getting a mammoth box full of stuff in this one. Well, I mean, I can see the list here, 111 miniatures.
Wow.
You look at everything here. That is a ton of content. The game's supposed to take 80 hours, but I'll bet even money, no one's game is only 80 hours.
No.
I just don't see that.
Not based off of our first little session. Granted, you had to add some time because we were not familiar with the game and we were working through Tabletop Simulator, which is going to add some time to it. But that being an intro scenario that we played, I have to imagine it's going to be above 80 hours to get through it all.
Am I the person who thinks that it's ironic that they have their stretch goal was for plastic wood tokens?
That's really.
I jest. It just made me laugh to go through that. Hey, didn't we fight
kind
these
of
dudes?
funny. It's pretty hilarious. And then somebody could take that plastic wood token and paint it like wood. Think about that. Where you can just instead get wooden pieces that are actually the material, don't need to be. I think it's hilarious, and it's kind of what these games are like what these big, epic, tons of minis games are like, where everything is plastic, including the actual wood. That's great.
Yeah. What color should I use for this? I think I'm going to go for this wood brown.
All right. Well, there's a lot going on in it. Like he said, great artwork, a ton of content. It is a campaign with fighting, and again, we did the whole playthrough, so you can kind of watch how the game works. So, all right. Well, that's the first one. That's pretty big. Let's see if it gets bigger. Nope, went down, but still a pretty big project here.
Yeah.
Power Rangers, Heroes of the Grid, Rise of the Psycho Rangers, which sounds like a fake name.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, you're not familiar with the Rise of the Psycho Rangers story arc?
Now, Renegade Game Studios, their first Kickstarter for Power is so much stuff now for this game, which is easy. A cooperative game along the lines of Ghost Stories, where you're, the different. Well, I would say the different putty creatures, but there are different minions and monsters come in, and you have to run your Power Rangers around using cards and dice to fight them off. And so I'm assuming that the expansion is mostly more monsters, more heroes, with, they each share special abilities. And then there's a combat grid board. Basically, you lay the cards out in rows. So this isn't necessary, but it's just a nice extra thing to have.
I seem to remember, didn't the original... What were you going to say?
Nothing now. We got Psycho Rangers, too. That's the main attraction. Go ahead.
That is the main attraction. I said, didn't the original of this come out at Gen Con last year? Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, I thought so.
That was when it was released in market, at least. That was the first time I had seen it. That wasn't a prototype. It's just weird to me because they keep, if you said, what does the Red Power Ranger do? I wouldn't know. I think in the base set and the expansions, I think I had 3 of each of the colors, or at least 2 of each, but maybe 3. And now they're adding more of each color. I guess maybe people will know, but I do like these Psycho ones. It basically is the same helmet with bug eyes.
That's pretty psycho.
That is like the ultimate enemy, though, for any cartoon or anything. You fight the dark version of yourself.
Right. Like the Bizarro World type of thing. Yeah.
But like I said, here's 5 more of these are Space Rangers, and more colors, and then there's more bad guys, and the all-in box, and I guess you can get the original game. So what is the original? $625 to get everything.
Man, that's a lot of Power Rangers. Content.
That's insane. How many people are backing that? I must see 30 backers that are paying $625 for the Super Mega Morphin Pack Master level. Super Mega Morphin Master.
The game itself is fine. I like it. I don't know that I love it, but I like it. It's a nice, straightforward, cooperative game. If I was a Power Rangers fan, I think I would like it even more. I just don't care about them. I don't dislike them. I just have I went to college before they were big, basically.
You better be careful. There's at least 30 people willing to pay a lot of money to show up right now.
That's fine. I didn't criticize them. All right, moving on here. All right, now we're going to some. I was about to say small, but 84,000 isn't small.
Yeah. Nope,
it's no joke.
This is Ausonia. It's a deck building game from the makers of Shard Hunter, and I got to say.
It's a next generation deck building game.
You've never seen deck building like this because this has resources.
That's fine. I get that. I was just reading the tagline, guys. I will say before we start, though, I'm a big fan of the graphic design of this game. I really like it. It's really clear. The colors of the whatever these gems are really stands out amongst the tan cards. That juxtaposition, I just like it. I like it a lot. I don't know if the game's good or not, but that looks great to me.
I do like the look. Could you figure out, Z? I mean, I know you go into exhaustive detail and research when you get these links. Did you understand kind of what the quote unquote hook is about having these different resources that are basically they made it sound like it was this big economy where you've got different resources to pay for different cards.
Oh, you can see it right here.
It's basically, think Splendor, where you have the gems, instead of pulling them and putting them in front of you and then spending them, they're in your deck. You have hand manipulation things. Hang on to a blue gem till you get the blue card, that kind of thing. And they also allow you to like burn a card out, face down, to lock a gem into play.
Okay.
That's the twist. The twist is a bunch of gems in your deck, and you can just remove one and leave it always on the table and spend it from the table instead of from your hand.
The gems can also be used to activate cards here. So that's not often common.
They're the energy. This pass.
Really? Oh, I'm interested in it. I think it looks good. Yes, the graphic design calls to me, but I like the idea of it. And if it's a nice, clean deck builder, I'm all in.
Yeah, I think it would need to do a little more. I'm not too excited. I like the look of it though.
Well, y'all are haters. I like it. All right.
No, I'm a hater. Okay, Mike DeLeese is a wishy-washy cat.
That's true.
I'm wishy-washy.
He's a wishy-washy cat. I'm gonna get a T-shirt for him with that. All right, dice
and
by
that's why I
Wyrmwood.
don't even get announced. I just get walked. Okay.
Wyrmwood here. This one didn't. We'll have to redo it here. Wyrmwood makes some of the nicest looking dice towers in existence. They also have moved into some really expensive tables, and now moving into dice, which they decide not to show you all at once, rather showing them in the shade. So. These are high variance dice.
Yes.
Okay.
So there's two things about this campaign that are interesting to me. One is the wood, right? I don't know that I love wooden dice. Usually they feel too light to me. Have you guys had that similar situation?
Yeah. Yes.
So that concerns me. And then this insubstantial, right? I want dice to roll.
Yeah, but I don't know that their wood is heavier and they have some really good quality wood. That die looks like it might be a chunkier die to roll.
That's true.
And this high variance dice is something that Jeff Engelson has talked about these before on our show. It's kind of an interesting concept where the average is still the same, but they make it so that you can fail or succeed greatly better.
Right.
I don't know if I like that or not. It seems like it would be a cool die to give to a weapon. Like this weapon rolls this die like in an RPG, but there's a good chance it will succeed and a worse chance it will fail. Do you want to use such a crazy weapon?
I guess. I mean, the whole high variance thing, they're like, oh, you're going to, it makes for more high highs and more low lows, that kind of thing. That's the idea. Mm-hmm. Right. It just means more artificial ones and more artificial 20s, let's say. So doesn't that rob your 20s of some grandeur? You know what I mean?
Well, sure. Like I said, I would just use it for a specific weapon. Like this particular weapon does it this way.
Yeah. I like the materials. These look nice. I like the look. I like the materials. They got some interesting looking sets. I'm not a big dive person like for RPGs like this, but I'd look into these.
Yeah, I'm intrigued.
They're not inexpensive dice, though. Okay.
How many of them?
Nothing that they do is inexpensive, though.
Like a black walnut set of 7 dice here, $85.
What?
You didn't read the prices, did you?
Wow, these guys are terrible.
Look at this though.
My wallet.
Where is it in here? They had that humongous D20.
Where's Shaggy?
Is it in here somewhere? The giant tungsten 20-sided die.
Oh, the tungsten. Yeah.
Yeah. I think
there it is.
a die. I have a 20-sided die that is metalish. It's not a tungsten die, but let's say I did want this die, and you were like, Tom, you should get this die for a lark. Great. I ain't paying $1,500 for it, and I thought that was a joke, but 13 people have done this.
Yes.
Why?
I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding when I say that I have owned 3 vehicles in my lifetime that I paid less than for that one tungsten die. I'm being very
How
serious.
many of them were made out of tungsten?
Only 2 of the 3, so I think I got a pretty good deal.
The third was made from aluminum, cheap
Fiberglass.
fiberglass body. This looks
correct.
cool, and again, if you can afford this project, do it, because you're not gonna.
Here's the thing, though. I could see me paying $85. That's really expensive. But let's say I played RPG all the time, and I wanted a great set of dice. Great. I'm stuck on this $1,500 die. To me, even the description sounds like a joke, and yet 13 people have backed it.
Look, but it's the largest, heaviest die they could create. At least
I'll back
you
it.
do this next
By
year.
law.
Now, Tungsten 2.0, 6
All right.
pounds heavier.
Let's go to the next one here. All right, Lords of Vegas, 10th anniversary, Underworld and Boss Bundle. So Lords of Vegas originally was published from Mayfair Games. And apparently the rights have gone back. I think Long Shark Games might have done the design part of it. But they have the rights to it back, so they're printing a new edition of it. Except, as far as I can tell, they are literally not changing anything about the game, at least in this normal version, other than adding in an expansion, which I find very unfortunate because while the components for the game were fine, the box cover was one that we always made fun of. It wasn't that good looking of a box cover.
Yeah. No.
The components, which included, wasn't paper money in this game? I feel like it was.
Yes. Yep. You have to make a point of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is totally, I mean, I'm guessing they're buying back product as part of it here. I really don't know. This is a completely opportunity. This is, if you're going to reprint this, you need to rework this game. I mean, the gameplay is good. Like you said, it's an interesting game. It's not an attractive game by any definition.
Well, I think the game itself looks fine.
I disagree wholeheartedly. And I think
I don't like it.
To get this back and put it out again and like have another go at it, then do so in earnest. This is not that.
But wait, there's more. The Boss Bundle.
What is the Boss Bundle, though?
The Boss Bundle, which is, how much is it? $249, comes in a suitcase. And with a cool insert. Actual poker chips. And these cars and stuff. And I was thinking when I saw this, like, yes, I would want to get that. I don't care about the briefcase, but the cars and stuff. But they could have done a lot of that without making it $249.
Right.
And that's my concern with this, is there's a lot of cool stuff in this deluxe edition. I needed that mid deluxe. Even if it was $100. We got money we're using poker chips instead of money. Great. Sure. Those are things I can get behind. But this $250, I can't do that. That's, 92 people apparently have. But I like the concept a lot. But man, and it is a great game. And yes, someone in the chat pointed out it is cheaper than a tungsten die.
I wonder how much money it would cost me to back everything we're going to take a look at today at the highest pledge level.
Oh, man. Someone's rolling with flush cash. Got that stimulus check, huh?
Yeah, sure, yeah. That doesn't even get me the die.
So what'd you do with your stimulus check?
I bought 4/5 of a tungsten die.
All right. Steampunk Rally Fusion. I'm actually ashamed to say I have yet to play Steampunk Rally. This is one that Sam and Z played without me.
That is a lie because I've never played it either.
Oh, wow. None of us have played it, huh?
Wait, you have not played it, Z?
No, I've always wanted to. This is one of those that got away. Just the one that got away, and I've never played it.
Dice Tower Library. I'm going to get it.
Oh, you?
I'm pulling this
play-
into the Dice Tower library.
Keep playing it.
Well, not with
Okay.
you, but I mean, I'm getting it.
Let's play
I've
it
heard
over
really good
Skype.
things. Yeah, there you go.
Anyway, Roxley, to me, Roxley is a company that you can back almost sight unseen, and you're guaranteed to get at the worst thing that you would get from Roxley would be a good game with amazing components.
Right.
That would be the worst, I think, from them, because their stuff is just top notch, from art to graphic design to components. These dice look great. I really like.
Cool.
I like these little cogs too. This
Yeah.
whole thing.
Mhm.
I don't know much about this game. I know that you build your thing and then you're having a race based on Steam and placing dice. And honestly, I got to get around to playing this thing.
Yeah, I have a couple of friends of mine that this is their go-to race game. They say that it doesn't feel like typical race games, that it does it right. So I've always wanted to play it, and this is making me even more so.
Alrighty. Well, we're going to keep moving because there's a lot to look at here, folks. Now we're at Mixtape Massacre Invasion Expansion. This is an expansion for Escape from Tall Oaks, and I would have skipped this over based on the cover just because I wasn't that interested, except that it made $36,000, which is not a small amount to make for a game of this size.
No.
Yeah, it's based on a bunch of it spoofs a bunch of horror movies. This company is not really a board game company; they're like a design company. But it seems like the first one did well in an exploding kittens kind of way. Not that much money. I'm talking about like the type of game, the people it appeals to, the idea. And now they're having a go at an expansion. I went back and looked up the original game on BGG. Yeah, you kind of know what it is. It's a really random thematic game. It's got a terrible rating and ranking on Board Game Geek, but that's because it's not for that crowd, probably. So
Right.
Alrighty, well, now we're jumping to Small Railroad Empires. This is a pick up and deliver game, which is from Arcona Games, and I am looking on what else they've done. Galactic Warlords. Okay, so Galactic Warlords is in the Dice Tower library. I don't believe... Did I play Small Star Empires? I don't remember if I played that or not. If I did, wasn't memorable. But this looks like a game I could play, actually. I like pick up and deliver games. The fact that this one's small and quick is tempting, right? I don't know.
Didn't this, just overreading it almost feels like a smaller version of Railways of the World, where you're just kind of building. Yeah, me too. Where you're just building out tracks from a city to a place that wants a particular type of good, and you're trying to do that. I'm not huge on train games, but this is. There's actually two this week we're looking at that are kind of appealing to me, and this is one of them. Because it looks small, it doesn't look overly complex. It looks like it would be a relatively quick game. So yeah, it's interesting.
All right, Z, not interested? You're not a big train guy.
No, I'm not a big train guy. You guys kind of covered it there. Yeah, this is. I like the pick up and deliver aspect. I like games that do that. This is not appealing to me, really. I'm not a big train guy.
All righty, then we have Final Girl. This is a solitaire horror board gaming experience from Van Ryder Games. And from what I understand, this is based a little bit on their system that started with Hostage Negotiator.
It is.
Or at least,
yes.
Okay. But
yeah,
so this is a game where I'm going to have to bow out a little bit not because of the solo part, but because I think this is too much stress for me. It's one thing when you're playing a silly horror game with your friends, right? And I'm like, oh, I'm the bad guy trying to get you, and you're like, God, you run around. It's like tag. Here, this almost feels too realistic. I'm not a fan of these kind of horror movies anyway.
I've played the original Hostage Negotiator. I don't know, Mike, if you've played that game.
Yeah, I played it quite a bit. Yeah.
So you like it then quite a bit, I'm guessing.
Well, here's the thing. I liked it. I do still like it, but I ended up trading it on because I just didn't feel like it had enough to keep me coming back. I mean, I know that they had different scenarios you can play, but to me, those felt a little bit like window dressing, those different scenarios. you were doing the same thing over and over again, and it felt a little stale.
Right.
After a period of time. This, I'm optimistic that this is going to change that up, because now it looks like you're taking two different things and kind of mashing them together to create a different experience. So I don't know. And this looks like it has more going on. Like you're kind of moving around a board and so I don't know. What are your thoughts? I mean, you've played them. You played Hostage Negotiator.
I have played the original game this is based on, and I don't like it. I thought it was it was too random. There was very little control for a solitaire game. I found underwhelming. I was not a fan of it, but I do like. That doesn't mean that I'm not, willing to give a chance to something that's an evolution on something I didn't like.
Right.
I also heard that Hostage Negotiator had been upgraded. Wasn't that true? Like there was a 1.5 edition or something, or they.
Sure.
I think so. I played the original, but this is again. This is an evolution. I be on top of an evolution. Great, and I like this theme much better than the Hostage Negotiator theme.
Me too. Me too.
So yeah, I'm interested in it. I'm willing to give it a try again and see where this idea is at now. And to be honest, Van Ryder Games for me has nothing but moved up. They keep doing better and better in my eyes. So
that's true.
I'm in,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, all righty, folks, we are only 1/3 of the way done with our games. We're going to take a quick break here and jump over to Mark, and then we'll be right back.
This week's Spotlight is brought to you by Mythic Games. It's the year 999. The Christianization of the Scandinavian countries is ongoing. But some Vikings are stubborn and are fighting to keep their culture and their beliefs. A new territory has been discovered, which could be the promised land they have always looked for, where gods walk alongside the worthy, a land of opulence, abundant harvests, and good living. The very idea of Valhalla. The first expedition settled there and founded a colony. Months later, a second expedition is sent there. The sea voyage goes very terribly, and many men die. A small band of survivors arrives hungry and exhausted at the colony camp, which does not at all look like what they had imagined. They discover an icy and disturbing place, immersed in the mist, surrounded by an opposing forest, yet empty. None of the settlers are there. What is left of their longship is planted in the earth in the center of the camp like a sinister totem. They will have to rebuild their camp, survive the hostile conditions, explore the cold and frightening land before understanding what happened and solve the mystery. Hel, the Last Saga is highly narrative, with chapters to read according to what the players accomplish. The game mechanisms mix exploration, tactical combat, and a bit of resource management. Storytelling and background are ambiguous, and replayability comes from the unique way you have to revisit failed missions. For more information, please go check out the campaign, which is now on Kickstarter.
Let's keep going here. We're going to go back into dice because I know how much Z likes looking at dice projects, so I'm going to keep putting them in. This is the Oracle dice box, but the cool thing here is you can see your dice when they're
Ooh.
I have one question, just one question. What is the highest pledge level they've got? What is their single most expensive die? $200? Child play.
You get 2 sets of dice with that. 2 7 dice boxes. Yeah, this is weird to me. It's like, how many people have so many dice boxes that they need to have windows so they know which dice are in which box? It looks cool, right? Don't get me wrong, it looks cool, but I would not back this because I like these little dice boxes. I have a couple that were incredibly cheaper than this.
Yeah.
They didn't have a window.
I don't know. To me, this seems like a solution for a problem that doesn't exist.
That's a top 10 I'm going to do someday.
It's just a stylistic choice. At the end of the day, that's all it is. Sure. It's just a box. They're more expensive, I guess, because they have to build this into it. But I don't know. I guess people, and maybe I keep seeing these kinds of projects for expensive dice and expensive ways to keep a die and transport a die and store a die, which I don't get any of.
See? These businesses are working, man.
Huh?
You're in the wrong business. They're working.
They are, but I just don't get it.
It's like Kickstarter. We're selling a 20-sided Dice Tower die for $1,500.
Made out of what?
Yeah.
Mike DeLucio's Frozen Tears.
I don't have enough.
Which there'll be plenty of by the end of this.
We won't get enough backers for that. All right. Mitropia, the mythical game of surrounding. The mechanics of the ancient game of Go meet magic on the fields of gods.
Can we razz words besides a pick of the week? I'm asking for no specific reason.
Right. Asking for a friend.
Hey, this one's funding. I don't know that I hate how this looks. It just doesn't.
6 people bought a $1,500 die. All right, so let's not go there.
No.
So here's the thing about this that bothers me.
Everything.
From what I understand, the whole beauty of Go is that you could teach it to somebody in minutes, but it's that whole minutes to learn and a lifetime to master. So let's take this paradigm of a simple and elegant game that has a tiny rule set, and then let's just add a bunch of garbage on top of it. Let's add special powers. Let's add magic. Let's add portals. Let's add... I mean, to me, that's going completely against the spirit of what it's supposedly being inspired by.
You know, the thing that Go is missing? Vikings. Now...
and tungsten die.
Well, you don't...
Well, maybe I'm in just a nice mood today, but I don't think this looks as bad as y'all are saying, even though the parts of this look like a miniature golf course.
You watched the
what?
Video. Did you watch the video?
I don't believe I watched the video for this one, no.
Just laughing and laughing. I'm sorry. No, it's Go, but with a bunch, like Mike said, a bunch of crap on top of it. It's just interesting. It's like it's an abstract game and a thematic game, just duking it out on your table while you're trying one of the two. I'm not feeling it. Makes me want to puke.
I'm sure they'll be using that
Stop
quote
holding
in their
back,
next update. All right. Next, Animo, cross trainers. Now, Animo is an interesting thing to me because this is still around. Like when this company first came to me, I said, "Aren't you ripping off Pokemon?" And they're like, "No, it's different because it's Bible." I'm a Christian, so I mean, I was somewhat interested, but I didn't want to play a game that was so clearly just another version of Pokemon. And yet it's still, I mean, if you look at these cards, like that card right there, that's not that different than Pokemon and how they look.
No, that's exactly
right. Okay. I've heard this song that goes with this. Animo, gotta catch them all. Yeah. Yeah.
And again, I'm not making fun of it because of its theme or anything like that. That's fine. No. Would rather a game stand on its own 2 feet than so clearly copy something else.
Isn't that the same argument you just glossed over for literally the last game we looked at?
That's copying Go. And it's changing it. It's not trying to be the Bible version of Go or whatever of Go.
This is Pokemon Go. That's a different thing.
No, it's not. Okay, I don't know where y'all are. Anyway, I would play this with my kids, and I'm actually...
Have you played this at all, ever?
Do we? I think we might have some of these in our studio. I don't know. We have a lot of games here. I don't know if I've seen these. I would probably play with them.
Right. Yeah. I don't know anything about it. I mean, what I saw here now.
I just wish that people who made Christian board games could make a Christian board game that wasn't a copy of another game. It's like almost every time. Bibleopoly and, this and that. It's like, come on. All right. Let's move on. Rise of Tribes, Beasts and Bronze. So Rise of Tribes was an extremely popular game from Breaking Games. This expansion is not actually, it has a lot of backers. I was going to say it's only 100,000, but it has a lot of backers. So that's because it's not that expensive.
It's inexpensive, yeah.
Yeah, $24 isn't bad. So Rise of Tribes is a game that I was not a huge fan of, but I am clearly in the minority there, and I've been told that by many people who I've met. And it certainly looks good. These tiles right here look great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've played this. I played it at Dice Tower West, actually, with the designer and someone from Breaking Games. And so it's a modular expansion where basically there are 3 separate things. One is you can play with the Bronze Age, which is a alternate winning condition that you can play at the same time as the normal game. So normally you're kind of racing to get, I think it's 12 points or 15 points. With the Bronze Age, what you can do is every time you build a village, in addition to being able to get a point for it at the beginning of your turn, you could take one of these technology cards. And if you can get all 3 of these technologies, upgrade them, not only do they give you powers, but you would immediately win the game. So what's interesting is that it gives you could be playing and decide, hey, I'm going to go for points. But then things kind of turn around and go, oh, you know what, maybe I'm going to go.
Stop speaking. Let me read what you said.
Oh, there we go.
Would you say, Mike Delicio, that the solo expansion is wonderful for a number of reasons? Does it feel designed from the ground up for this specific game? And focus shows in the end product? Would you say that? Does it show, Mike?
That doesn't sound like me, honestly, but it's close enough. But yeah, no. So it's got that. It's got upgrade. It's got different animals, and it's got a solo variant. So yeah.
I've never played Rise of Tribes either, but it's one that I would like to play. And the expansion, that idea of like an alternating victory sounds cool. I dig it. Yeah, I want to try it. I want to try this one.
Even though I wasn't a big fan of the base game, I would play it with the expansion to try it out again. Yeah, this is cool. Alrighty, Canvas. Now this one kind of blew up for a smaller game here.
Right.
474,000. That's nothing. This is from Road to Infamy. These guys have made what was the other games that they made? I looked them up earlier because I was wanting more information.
They made the what's it called, Crypt, which you like. You said, Tom.
That's right. Okay, so they made That's right. I forgot they named their company after their first game, Road to Infamy. Which was not that fantastic. When I got it, it was definitely, hey, this is a Kickstarter game. Galactic Debate, the cover made me not even interested in it. Crypt, I almost passed by, but then really enjoyed it. A small little game. And then After Nova, I played that with you, Mike, right? No.
Did we play that?
I played it with Roy.
I don't think we played that.
And I liked that one, too. That was a nice, small game. So those two in a row this is definitely a company that's improving. And it's really obvious from how nice this one looks.
Right.
The concept of this.
This looks really cool.
Putting these cards on top of each other to create artwork is an obvious. They've a little janky. This looks great. At least it doesn't.
This looks really good.
Art here. And it looks like it actually has a thing that has to do with the game too, right? On the different kinds of art styles and stuff. It's not a very
you can hang the box
game.
On the wall too.
Yeah, that's definitely a gimmick, but it's not a bad gimmick.
That is a gimmick.
That's a cute gimmick.
It looks like a piece of.
It is. It really is. I'm telling you, this looks pretty impressive.
I guess my main thing is I worry. Beautiful. My only concern here is it going to feel fiddly to play this game? Sleeving and unsleeving card pieces, or I guess multiple cards.
That's already been done with all the AEG ones.
But
I hate
or are you
that
just
game.
them on top of each other?
You're sleeving them. I think you're sleeving them.
You are?
It shows it here. You slide them in a sleeve. I like them slid in the sleeve anyway, this kind of thing, because they look better.
Yeah, so that's my only thing. I wonder if it's going to feel fiddly. If not, if this ends up not feeling fiddly and it turns out to be a decent game, it's gorgeous. It's got a lot going for it right now.
It's also not expensive. It's $28.
Right.
That for a game that looks like that. Yeah, this one looks really cool. I'm pretty pumped about this one.
Cool.
All right.
Yep.
Mike mentioned 2 train games. Here is the other one, folks. Mini Express, which honestly, if you just told me the titles of both of the games, what's the other one? It's Small Railroad Empire.
Small Railroad.
And this one's Mini Express. If you told me the names of them back to back, I'd be like, just because your game is small, people, you don't need to put it in the title. And this will not be the last time that happens today.
I think it's because train games are normally these epic, monumental things, and folks want someone to buy these. You know, I think that's it.
This is the first time that Moedius has done a Kickstarter. I didn't realize that. I mean, we've been playing their games for years. I usually like their games.
Right.
And I have to say, if I'm picking between this and the other one, I think this is the one I would pick first, if only because I know these guys. However, I think the other one looks slightly, I don't know. The problem with this one is, when I look at it, it looks like every other train game, just smaller.
Right.
I guess. This one, to me, looks much more polished and interesting than the other game.
Right. There's 2 reasons why I'd lean towards this one even over the other one. One is what you mentioned, Moedius. I've liked a lot of their games. I really like Symphony No. 9. And the other one is that the designer did Steamrollers, which I thought was a pretty cool.
I didn't realize that.
Roll and write. Yeah. Mark.
But didn't he do Mini Rails there?
Too.
Because I did not like Mini Rails.
He must have done that as well. I haven't played Mini Rails though.
Yeah, I didn't like. That's a stock market game essentially.
Okay.
Well, I think I didn't like it. I'd have to go back and watch my review, but I'm pretty sure. All right, let's keep moving here. Curators Collection Conundrum. Is that like a tongue twister title? Collection Conundrum.
It's something. Lots of alliteration.
It's a nice little piece of art here at the beginning, so that caught my eye on it here. It's a Euro-style tile laying game. With employee chips here. You're building the rooms. So when you place these, it's one of these things where you're trying to build rooms next to each other. So there's nothing really new there. Right. But the fact that the rooms, when you put them together, actually make a building is interesting. And then these museum entrance boards look a lot nicer. They really kind of, I don't know. I think this has a nice, cute look to it.
Right.
It does. My concern about this one is I wonder, because I like the theme a lot, I'm afraid that it's an abstract that has very little to any theme, and that might bother me because I like the theme so much. If you understand what I'm getting at, sometimes that doesn't bother me if I'm indifferent about the theme. But if there's a game about building a museum, I kind of want to feel like I'm building a museum, and here it almost just looks like you're putting out tiles. I don't know.
Well, yeah, but at the same time, okay, these guys made, I'm looking at their other game, they made Zoom Maka, which I hate it. But don't let that affect your
Did you not like it?
This looks a lot better. Look,
I watched the video of the how to play in this, and it looks okay. This is the kind of game that I get that feeling of, like, even before I play it, I'm like, yeah, this is a solid 6 out of 10. You know what I mean? Yeah, it gives me that feeling of, like, I don't even have to play it, and I get it. There is nice, been seen before, well presented, but tired and trite and, very much something anybody looking at this right now probably already owns, a replacement to this. That's how it came across. I might be wrong. But yeah, if you just have a thing for museum games, get it. It's not going to be thematic. It didn't, like Mike said, it did not look thematic from the explanation. And there was one clever mechanism in it, this idea of when you take an action, you use the guy who restores the exhibits, you flip over their tile. on the other side is a different symbol, which might match one of the other ones. So now when you take that action, you do it at strength 2. So you flip them both.
I like that.
That's nice.
That's clever.
That was mainly it.
All right.
Okay.
Guards of Atlantis II, tabletop MOBA. This is the long-awaited sequel. I did not know we were long-awaiting this, but to be fair, I never played the original game. I saw it. They actually, this company had a booth. I remember this distinctly. This company had a booth next to us at an S in one year. So Sam wandered around the corner, and then they got him with a hook or something because he's been loving their games ever since. I actually haven't played their last game yet, the hockey game. It's still sitting out there. I got to get around to playing that one.
Oh, that was their game? Okay.
I think I played the original one to this years ago, maybe, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago, maybe more, at a Board Game Geek Con, at a BGG Con. With Sam. He taught it to me and somebody else. I don't remember liking it, but it was quite a production, and if people who enjoyed it already, and obviously are aware of what the first one looks like, are waiting for more, this is that. It looks well done. These guys know how to produce a game. You know what I mean? There's no question about that. Whether you like the game or not is obviously up to everybody individually, but they know how to make a game, and I think that art style on the box is really striking. I like the look of it a lot.
I think this is going to appeal to. I think it is going to appeal to video gamers that cross over into board game world. I know a few people that are really excited about this. I'm not one of them.
Here's what keeps me from wanting to play it, though.
Appeal to me
is that it's not
the player count.
Yeah, it's 4 to 6. It's not 1 versus 1.
Yeah,
it's 4 to 6. It's hard to get a game that requires 4 to the table for me at this point. Also, the low end is 90 minutes.
Right.
It's very long. Yes.
So
0 luck, 100% cutthroat. Z. That's for you, right up your alley.
It sounds like they were writing Z's code words in there. All righty. Dodos Rhyming Dinos, which from the name I would have thought, hey, they're just trying to get people to back it based on that. That is a company. It's called Detestable. Detestable Games. And so let's see what they have made before. Seat Wars, Cooks and Crooks, Quetzalladder, and La Caravana. And I've played 0 of those, so I can't give you any kind of background on this, which the game has made 165,000. Now, part of that's because of the art. The art looks great.
Sure.
The minis.
The minis look good. Yeah.
I saw, again, the video for it. I was surprised that it was from a Mexican company, which right there I was like, that's cool.
Yeah, there's not many of those.
Right. Neat, and the art style, the minis, it's a kid's game. They're saying it's a kid's game. It's very silly. It's a racing game, but it has some dexterity elements where you throw things at some of the dinos to try to knock them out, I guess. This looks adorable, man. I mean, it looks like a really nice production. And I guess if you feel like your kid is going to enjoy the theme, is going to be okay with cards that have a decent amount of text, that's something that worried me. But, if you're okay with that and you think the kids can with that, yeah, this looks great.
All right, so spoiler alert, I actually backed this one. And when I was backing it, I went down and looked at the pledges, and there's the pledge for $49 for Dodos Rhyming Dinos, and then there was the pledge for Dodos Rhyming Dinos plus Cucks and Abby, which is this miniature that you have here, and that was $59. And I could not fathom why I would do that. Like, I usually want to get the best version of a game, usually, but $10 for an extra thing? I was like, I don't even know if I like the game that much.
It looks like it's a crossover with something that I'm not familiar with. And that might be why it's costing a little more.
What it is. Okay, there's probably a licensing thing. Because there are more people backing that one than the original one.
Yeah, that's what it is, Tom. It's some IP we don't know. There you go. Now you know.
Well, I didn't do that. I just got the original one. All right. Well,
you need the babby.
We're now 2/3 of the way through. We got a few more projects to look at, but we're going to jump back to Mark to talk about some Kickstarter projects, and then we'll be back.
Hey folks, welcome back to the Dice Tower Preview Recap. I'm Mark, and today we're going to be navigating the treacherous seas as we take on the role of a pirate. And we'll be trying to save the people of Euthea from some deadly dragons. Alright, let's get to it. So first up, we have Sea of Legends. Sea of Legends is a narrative-driven, open-world sandbox-style game. Swashbuckle and swindle your way to victory as one of 4 unique captains. Raid ports, buy treasure, fall in love, and defeat your nemesis as you compete to become the most legendary pirate on the open seas. Your decisions will make waves through the Caribbean as each player takes part in shared adventures woven together by a companion app. But choose wisely. In Sea of Legends, the fickle winds of fate can fill your sails or turn against you at any moment. Navigate the shifting tides as you pursue multiple paths to victory and forge your own tale. Play as a brazen cutthroat, a rogue with a heart of gold, or fall anywhere in between as you navigate the shifting tides of the Caribbean. The world is your oyster, but what kind of captain are you? The game is played in a series of rounds divided into turns. Each round and each player will take their turn. Then one player will control the NPCs on their turn. You will continue playing until one player has gained 10 notoriety. So, will you answer the call to adventure? The sea awaits. So this is a big sandbox style game. You can do all kinds of things in this game. I mean, you can even go on the seas to get those amount of fame points, but you're going to be doing all kinds of things along the way. You're just huge story narrative around this game as well. Using an app, you will be navigating those waters as you move through the story and deal with your nemesis and your lover in order to gain points and level them up, as well as the story will intertwine with the other players. And search for legendary artifacts, experience nature's raw elemental power as it influences your steps. Fulfill quests to help the struggling people of Euthea. There are plenty of strategic options on your side. Choose from a wide range of armor, weapons, spells, and magical jewelry. An open playstyle allows for every hero to play the way they choose. Euthea Torment of Resurrection is a competitive strategy board game where you take the role of one of 5 heroes. Your heroes wander through an open world of fantasy landscape represented by the modular tile-based map. On each turn, players use action tokens which can be spent on either combat, trade, mining, or used for movement. And a branching chain of skills allows for all kinds of hero customization. At the beginning of every game, you will choose one of 3 scenarios to play. Each scenario represents an attempt to kill or repel one of the mighty dragons. Successfully repelling or killing the dragon will provide the hero with reputation, as does most of the actions the player performs throughout the game. The hero with the highest reputation at the end of the game is the winner. So this is another big, expansive game. As you move out from the center tile, you grow the landscape and you travel and you do mining. You're trying to get enough resources, really, so you can take on the dreaded dragon of the land. So there's a really neat aspect of this game that definitely puts me in mind of Diablo, because you have your character board and you're trying to get the bigger and better weapons, and as you get more points and you level your character up, those points can translate into new skills and so forth. So it really has that level up feature to it that you see in so many games like Diablo and so forth. So it's definitely a game that if you like dungeon crawls and you like that expansive world and different scenarios, different character powers, this has all of that. So my pick of the week. You know, both these games offer so many things that I enjoy. Just fantastic. You know, Euthea has that, you know, expansive world that you travel through and explore and gain resources and gain all kinds of neat things in order to level up your character so you can become the most powerful. But, you know, Sea of Legends, definitely wins it for me because of the storytelling. The theme comes through so strong. And I'd even say that you do have to cooperate at times. It's not just all pirate for yourself. You have to jump in and work together in order to maybe prevent the undead or the merfolk from bringing out their colossal giants and destroying the land. So yeah, Sea of Legends, fantastic game. Definitely check it out. All right, folks, if any of these games look of interest to you, please go check out my full previews. And if you want your game featured as a Dice Tower preview, shoot me an email. Now, keep an eye on mid-May because we have some pretty big stuff coming. There will be a ton of new previews coming out. Again, the Kirby's going to be doing some stuff, so look for those as well. And there's a little bit of a little big game coming, so keep your eye on those. So folks, until next time, we'll see you at the table.
Okay, so now we're only looking at this because it's made $84,000, but I don't think this is for us. Okay, I'm assuming.
No.
The Game of Real Life. This is by Jesse Finkelstein with Meredith Noel, based on DBTRU, based on dialectical behavior therapy.
I don't know if you know this, but I'm a licensed dialectical behavioral therapist.
I did not know that, Mike. I apologize. Here's the thing. I'm not trying to insult the people who did this at all.
No.
I'm just saying I don't think this is for me. Like, I'm looking for a fun game, and this looks like it's a tool more than a game.
Correct. Yes, absolutely. I think you hit the nail on the head there. This is a tool. This is not going to be, I mean, ideally it's going to be some fun. You don't sit around the table to play this because your weekly game group's getting together, and this is the latest thing that came in from Kickstarter for you.
Right.
Having said all that, I'm giving this more credit than you are, Tom. This looks interesting.
I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying I don't think it's for me. That's all.
Right.
I would like to see what a copy of this looks like to just look at it, to see what they're doing with it. I mean, I get it. It's a game. You just sort of like you read a prompt, a topic, and then you make an argument for why the car you have would be a better way to solve that problem. Sounds like a great debate game. Sounds like a great class, speech class.
That's
idea
true.
and a tool.
It's almost like
Cool.
it's almost like that super fight concept, right? Where basically you're playing cards, and the whole point is that it's an exercise to communicate. It's a communication tool, like Tom was saying. So yeah, but that being said, it looks good. It looks professional. I like the style of the art, and so yeah. It's not something I'd want to play at a game night, but it's intriguing.
Yeah, I don't think it's coming across to me too heavy-handed. That's the main thing.
That's true. That does look better in that regard.
If it comes across preachy or like it's trying to teach me something, make me a better person. Like if it tries too hard, then it pushes me out personally. Mm-hmm. This is coming across well. So kudos to the people who put this together. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Back to dice. So the polyhedral dice adventure calendars. Now, this is what these are. These are essentially advent calendars that they're backing now, and you're supposed to get in September of this year.
January.
No, this is like a weird one, right? Because if you don't back this, I mean, if the logistics go haywire at all here, it's problematic. But if you don't know what an advent calendar is, they're these little calendars where you punch out a hole each day and you get something. I've done them before with my kids with Legos. There's ones with chocolate. There's a few of them. In fact, there was for a while a board game promo one. Here's the problem with this particular one. The idea of there being dice in, I was like, yes, I will back this for myself, and even if it didn't come time-wise. But aside from me not really being a big fan of the art, the second problem is they show you the dice that are in it, which I probably shouldn't have looked at. But then I realized, wait a minute, they're going to give me a set of dice, and I'm going to. It's going to be very anticlimactic after a while. Look, I got the 12-sided green die.
Ooh.
I wonder what I'm getting. You know what I mean? No, I mean, the dice are cool, but if they were all different, that would be better. But because there's a set of 7, and there's 7 times 3 is 21, and they put those in, and you, after a while, you're just going to get another sided die of the same group you already have.
Yeah, you'll never guess what the last day you open is.
Well, maybe there is. I mean, maybe there is other things in it, but that's very problematic for me because that's not interesting. It's not interesting to know what you're going to get. It's like, here's the wheel of your bike, Johnny. You'll never guess what you're going to get tomorrow for the second part of your Christmas present.
This is one of the least interesting calendar ideas I've ever heard. It's a set of dice. If there were a random die, like one cool, random, bizarro die each day, tons better.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what you know.
I would have backed it if it had been that. If they had said everyone's a different die, you might get a wooden die, a weird 7-sided die, all kinds of crazy stuff.
Die.
Tungsten. Well, that's a really expensive advent calendar, and it also it's bulgy. It's bulgy out of the thing. You're like, I wonder what this one is.
This one's heavy. What's going on with this calendar?
All right, let's move on. That's nonsense. Island Siege Anniversary 2nd Edition. Now, this one really brought back like a remembrance for me because I was thinking, did I play this? Yes, it's been a long time ago. This is Ape Games, and it came out 2014. I wouldn't have, if Ape Games came and said, well, we're going to reprint games. What do you think about Island Siege? I wouldn't have recommended this one. It wasn't a bad game, but it's forgettable. Yeah. Did they kickstart this one? Was this like one of the first Kickstarters? Huh?
I don't know. I haven't played this one, the original one, I mean.
No, they didn't kickstart it. Wait, yeah, they did. They kickstarted way back when?
Yeah.
And then they kickstarted earlier in February an anniversary edition, which didn't succeed. So now they're calling it a 2nd edition.
I'm surprised these guys. I mean, maybe I'll like this. I like a lot of that other stuff. Can you show that again? The games that they've made. I like a lot of those.
Oh, sure.
I'm actually currently backing that Stygian Society Kevin Wilson game, a Cube Tower game. That hasn't fulfilled yet.
Dark is the Night, and the RAR game. I remember playing that. Mm-hmm. Like, they've got a lot of interesting stuff. I wonder why this is, like you said, Tom, the one that's coming back. Maybe it's well-liked. You know?
I wish they would bring back Duck, Duck, Go. That's what I'd like to see. I really think they could really kickstart the nonsense out of that one.
More like Duck, Duck, No.
Okay. Crisis at Steamfall Genesis. So this is from BGG publisher. But look, it can be solo, versus, or co-op.
Yeah. That's a sign of a winner right there.
What I've been waiting on.
But does it have swag?
I don't hate these miniatures though. These miniatures look cool.
Yeah,
I like the big monkey with the lady sitting on his back. That's kind of a cool mini.
Sure.
It's very steampunky, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I can't seem to make out what's going on here. I do like some elements of it, but it also worries me that it's maybe one of those kind of bloated. I don't get a feel of streamlined, elegant play when I look at this. You know what I mean? But that's just off a very cursory glance at the campaign. I hope it's good. I just don't know.
It looks okay, but I'm sorry. At this point, if you say co-op or competitive, I don't believe you.
Right.
There's a copy of the original printing of this kicking around work for a while.
You're right.
And I don't know. I mean, I tried reading it at one point. I grabbed it and kind of gave it a cursory glance. It's a little messy, but I think all the co-op competitive blah 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 stuff is expansion stuff.
Got it. Okay. This is okay. Now I'm looking here at the other games they've done. So I played Assault and Doomrock. It's a very popular game. I really did not like it.
Right.
But Crisis at Steamfall, you're right. We have that has been sitting around here. We never got to it. So this is just the expansion.
Right. Correct.
Very pop.
Okay.
I mean, they have their fans, but I don't know. Still don't believe that. All right. Adventures in Neverland. This is a story-driven adventure game set in the world of Peter Pan and Captain James Hook. This is from Black Box Adventures. Who are they, you might wonder? Well, let's see what other games they have done. They've done Itchy Monkey, Fruity de Mer, and Revenge of the Dictators, all of which have gotten really high ratings from me. I think Itchy Monkey, I gave that a 5, and that is a higher rating than Fruity de Mer and Revenge of the Dictators combined. Like this is one of the few companies that exists that I will simply not play the game based on the company. Like I have zero interest in this game on the company. I know it's really harsh, but I have not liked. Not only have I not liked the games I played for them, I've hated them.
Wow.
Like
because this
looks so good.
Well, maybe it is.
Really good.
And maybe this is the game that turns it around, right? But I got to go with, pedigree sometimes.
Yeah, look, if you've been burned, I understand that
Revenge of the Dictators game is horrible. I mean, terrible.
Huh. Interesting, because this looked really good. This was definitely in the running for me for my pick of the week. It's a gorgeous game. It sounds interesting. No! It's out now. I should have done a little. It's a pretty looking game. It sounds interesting, but not if it's at some point. Yeah, some games can turn companies around, but what you're talking about is basically a car falling off a cliff to suddenly growing wings.
That's just. But there are other games like the Revenge of the Dictators. The theme of it's a dictator trying to take over America, and you going to Washington D.C. and rolling a 10-sided die or a 20-sided die, trying to roll that and win. It's full of take that. It's a bad thing. It's just awful. The Fruity de Mer was this game where you move around spaghetti with different seafood pieces fighting each other in a battle, which is just mostly luck. And the Scratchy Lice Monkey, whatever it was called, that one is a abstractish game where you have lice trying to ride around on monkeys, which was supposed to be cool, but just didn't work. And I want to say those are not the only games that this company has done, too. That I think those are the only ones on Kickstarter, but I might be wrong. Black Box, BGG.
If you can't take a game called Scratchy Lice Monkey and turn it into something good, then yeah, there's a problem, because that should win just on its own merit.
Oh, wait, no, they got more than that. They also have... these are expansions. Itchy Monkey.
What about Climate Oasis?
That one I don't think I played. I don't think anyone's played it since it only has 6 ratings. And no.
Wow.
Oh man, that's
maybe the 4th game is the winner here, right? Again,
it's the charm.
I thought it looked really good too.
Only I think the deviation from something done before to something done now can only be so much. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
This is not suddenly going to be a 10 out of 10. It might be good. It might be all right. You know what I mean?
Who the designer is. There's 3 designers. Let's see what all. This is the guy who designed Revenge of the Dictators.
I'm out.
Ooh.
Revenge of the Dictators. Ooh. And then this young lady hasn't designed anything, I don't think.
Maybe she'll save them. She will save them all.
That's right.
I want this to be good. I really do.
Right.
Oh, I want this to be good too. It looks amazing, but who knows?
It does look amazing.
I'm pulling my backing right now. I backed them for $600. That's out.
Well, now you're halfway to getting that die. All right.
That's right.
So, let's go. We got 3 more here. This one made me laugh out loud. Okay? And I'm actually considering backing it. Not for the Dice Tower, but for my family. Okay?
I want to make fun of this one so badly, but I'm not going to lie. I looked at this and there was a part of my 11-year-old self that was like, I want to play this, and I want to play this right now.
Right? That's so stupid. I want to play it.
Yes. I mean,
it looks like an arcade game, right? Like a pinball thing.
If this was right. If this was sitting in front of you, you're not going to spend an hour and a half playing this. I mean,
I don't know what the rules are.
Is,
all
right?
they show is the person hitting the ball. Just
what I understand, those little fielders standing there is if the ball hits them, then it's an out, I think. If it doesn't, then you don't actually run the bases. You get a single, and that little app will keep track of what your base runners are. So, I don't know. It says you can throw fastballs and change-ups, and there's a green monster you can get. It is ridiculous, but it looks fun.
Really expensive, though.
Yeah, it is. It is. But I'm that guy right there. See that guy throwing that pitch? That's me. I'm pumping my fist. Look at that. Woo!
Well, his hair looks better.
That's true.
Yeah, again, this is one of those ones that I wanted to make fun of it, and I was like, no, I like it.
I do like it.
Make fun of it.
I'm not buying it, but I like it.
No, it's fine. It's like it looks cool, some big toy. What's actually weird to me is the fact that the app is the really weird part. This almost screams old school, hang out with granddad, and play with like crossbows and catapults type stuff, And then you've got an app. Like you're not gonna want to play this with Grandpa while you got to run an app. Talking about.
You don't have to. You can use pen and paper. All the app is doing is keeping track of the score and the base runners. You could do that on paper. So Tom,
I'm not feeling the app. Everything else, yeah, sure. It's very stupid.
I would have backed it for my kids to play with them, but that price is a tough call because the only thing about this, as funny as it is, and it looks like it'll be fun. It feels like this is something I would get. We'd put out, we'd play, everyone have a great time. Then we'd pack it up. It would probably take up a decent amount of space. Stick it in the garage and forget about it for a year. And every once in a while, I'd be like, oh, yeah, there's that thing.
Yes. Or you get the Stadium Edition and you bring it into the studio when we could all get back together again and we have a huge live marathon, what do you call it, a tournament.
Well, you know what? If we did this and people, they can't watch baseball, but they can watch us. And people be like, we don't need baseball anymore because we got Dice Tower and Strike Zone tables. All right, let's move on. We got two more.
Dice Tower League.
That's
Tapeworm.
right.
Tapeworm, which for some reason the gold disappeared here. 670,000. This is one of those exploding kitten type games that is not one that probably most of our listeners would like, but when we mention it, it's fun,
This looks cute enough. It's like a connection game, you play a card, you're making these patterns. This looks like there's a
doesn't it feel though at the end of the day, they have their whole not safe for work game in the pink version.
Sure, right.
Doesn't it feel like the game almost feels like if you saw it, I don't know, to me when I saw it, I'm like, is this supposed to be a adult game? No, it's not. But it feels like they want you to think it is. I don't know how to explain it.
I did not get that. This looks like it's just the worms happen to be worms because the designer did something that could work like the roads in Carcassonne, and worms will work that way. You know what I mean? That's what I'm getting. It's that art style that the guy who did the Binding of Isaac is the guy who illustrated and came up with this. But this seems to me kind of cute. It's not much of a game from what I can gather, but I could see myself trying it. Again, like I'm saying, this looks like there's a lot more game here than something like Exploding Kittens.
Okay.
There's something to be said for that, I guess,
I guess so, yeah.
All right, last one of the day. Tiny Ninjas, Heroes and Tiny Ninjas, second printing. and there's no word epic in it, so it's not from Game One. At first, I thought that's what it was. I was like, oh, their new one is Tiny Epic Ninjas. No, there's no epic. It's just Tiny Ninjas. And this is not even the first time this game has come out. It already exists. This is adding more stuff to it, though. Or is it not? I'm confused. Is it 2 games?
Is it a standalone?
No, it's a second printing.
I almost wonder, is it a standalone? I thought it's a standalone up at the
across
top.
our desk. Did we ever see this, Z? I don't remember it.
I haven't seen this, and if I did, I've forgotten.
It looks a
No,
little. No, I like
these dice and all this. Yeah,
the
no,
dice
I
don't
haven't.
look like they're good quality, though. They look like they're stickered. And if they're not stickered, they're off-centered.
They're screen printed, I bet.
Okay. I would try
There
it.
are magnets, though. There are magnets.
Ooh. Tell me more, Mike. Just keep saying magnets.
Well, apparently the box flap opens, and I think that's where you put your little pawns, and those are magnetic. And
I see. Well, that's not as exciting. That's just a magnetic score.
Not as exciting. See right here. Look at that right there. Oh, magnets.
Oh, but you didn't say it was lightning.
Yeah, when you flip it over, it sparks.
I left the lightning out. Yeah.
Well, they got a lot of previews here and stuff about it, and obviously people are liking it. It's a small game, so nothing wrong with that. Although, where is it? How much does it cost? $30? That's kind of pricey, actually, for a small game.
And they have a bunch of weird stretch goals, like they have a vampire ninja and like zombie ninjas. Yeah. I would rather get the word Tapeworm game than this.
I would play this. Alrighty, see. What your pick of the week is, because I'm very curious. Please say it's tungsten dice. Tungsten dice.
I changed my mind a few times, but I'm gonna go with Steampunk Rally Fusion. It looks the best. It looks the most interesting. I haven't played Steampunk Rally, but I seriously considered getting this, especially since one of the things, I don't know if you watched the video or saw the picture, is where they mix the box for the original Steampunk Rally with the new box. And they have a single box with the artwork for each on one side and the other. It looks cool. So you buy
where is that?
At the same time. It's in there somewhere. I saw it in the video. Keep going down. It's in there somewhere, I assume. That one right there, the Atomic Edition.
That's it right there. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that is cool. I like that idea.
So that's my pick of the week. Again, I haven't played the game, but like Tom said, these guys know what they're doing. They are really good. Production quality for them is excellent. And that's what I want to try the most out of everything today, besides maybe rolling a $1.50 die, is play Steampunk Rally Fusion.
All right, Mr. Mike, what about you? You're going to do Peter Pan, aren't you?
No,
I'm not going to do Last Girl.
I'm not doing Final Girl, although that's also something I'm very interested in. For me, it's Rise of Tribes, Beasts and Bronze. It's because I played it, and I'm telling you, I will never play Rise of Tribes without the Bronze Age, because it's one of my favorite types of expansions, which is basically I could teach you, if you know the base game, that takes 20 seconds to learn, and it completely changes the way the game can be played. So I like the new creatures. I love the Bronze Age, and I love the solo mode. So to me, it's definitely Rise of Tribes, Beasts and Bronze.
Interesting. Right. It sounds like you're saying that the solo expansion is wonderful for a number of reasons. That's what that sounds like.
For a number of reasons, yes. A number of reasons, yes.
So if you quote Mike in your Kickstarter, you get pick of the week. Is what I'm hearing.
No. Look, this is really, it's solid. It really is good.
What do you think mine is?
Oh, jeez. If I did not know all that garbage about Adventures in Wonderland or Neverland, I would have said that, to be honest.
You're right. That would have been my pick other than for that. But my pick was pretty easy.
It's going to be Canvas.
It is.
Yeah,
Canvas
that was
really,
up
there. I always like translucent cards. I've never. Well, I like the Mystic Veil method, but there's been so many translucent card games that have disappointed me.
Sure.
Starting with Gloom, and this one looks so pretty. It looks like it's fun. This company, like I said, has been growing and doing better things, and I just seen so many good and heard so many things. And like this one picture here that shows these cards put together, they're random cards and they look really good. I just like that concept a lot. And it doesn't hurt that I like this paint style a lot. Whatever this, I don't know what you call the style of painting, but I like it. It's that kind of painting that's not too abstract, but it's a little abstract.
Yeah, it's
I'm definitely going to be
have
backing
do
this
it for
one
this
as well.
too.
This is.
Yeah, this looks to me like Dick's. It's got that same look. It might be the same illustrator.
That would be interesting. I don't know. But that's it, folks. Alrighty, well, we'll be back in 2 weeks to talk about more games, Kickstarter. But there's more stuff coming up before then. Tomorrow morning, Board Game Breakfast Live. Come join us. And there's a contest running tomorrow, so you'll want to come back and jump in on that tomorrow morning. And then tomorrow afternoon, Jamie Kagi from the Secret Cabal is joining us, and we're going to be talking about top 10 games we'd like to see a second edition of. And maybe they'll Kickstart them and do it. And then later on, we'll do our CrowdSurfing. We'll be like, remember we said that? See, that's because of us.
Right.
All righty, but thank you, folks, for watching. And don't forget, there's a daily chat tonight, 9 o'clock. We'll see you then. Until then, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Z Garcia. Thank you.
I'm Mike Delisio, but we actually have Dice Tower tonight.
No, that's right. Tonight's Dice Tower tonight. It's Wednesday. I'm losing track of my days. Thanks, Mike.
That's all right.
We'll see you all later. Have fun gaming.
Bye.